Hey!
Welcome, everyone, to the Chasta and Huey podcast. It's like hanging out with your childhood buddies at a dive bar having a beer together. Throw your headphones. Or better yet, they're like a security blanket. Maybe a little itchy, but still warm and cozy. It's time for the show. Here's Chasta and Huey. Cheers.
Hey! Cheers! We are definitely a little itchy. Hi, brother man. I missed you.
Miss you too. I was gonna say, wait a second, we gotta do cheers. I don't have no coffee here. I do have a Waterloo though.
I don't have no coffee. Did you
Yeah.
just say I have no coffee? I don't
I'm
have
so
no
waking
coffee.
up.
Here, do
Cheers.
that. Think. There we go. Cheers.
What is a
Oh, wait.
podcast? I don't know how to remember how to do this.
I know, right? Dude,
Can
it's
people
so
see us?
I hope so. Oh, wait, I gotta make the screen smaller so I can pull up the comments in real time. Yeah, we missed 2 weeks, didn't we?
Yes, yeah. So it
Lame.
was just trippy because I was for anyone who follows on social media, I was trying to stay up to date with posting little clips of like things you might have missed. So hopefully people took the initiative to play catch up on previous episodes. And I think a lot of our episodes are pretty evergreen. You could listen anytime. And so hopefully a lot of our loyal listeners took the time while we were away to play catch up. Yeah, listen to past episodes. So hopefully a lot of those clips reminded people, we've done a lot of episodes. We got a lot of great content. And so, but yes.
To tide you over.
Yeah, needless to say, missed you. Great to be back recording with you.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so
Yes.
much. He says, welcome back, friends. We love you,
There we
brother
go.
man. Yes, we definitely missed. We have so much to catch up on. So here's what we're going to do for the podcast today. We are going to do a real-time Chasta Huey catch-up because I just got back from New Orleans. And then you and I have not, I mean, we've texted a bunch, but we haven't talked. So we have lots to catch up on. I had my trip. You were with Trivium like 2 nights in a row in 2 different states or something crazy. And you have lots of, I don't know what you can say on the air, what you can't, but we'll walk
I know
through
what I
it.
can say and what I could call it. And like, I already have a headline for the clip.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Clip it. Hey, what's up, Dan DeLay?
Okay.
I can't fully watch today, but wanted to say hi. Oh, Dan, we love you. Thank you so much. Don't worry. It's always archived. Wherever you stop, you can start back up whenever you're not busy.
Yes,
'Cause we
absolutely.
understand. We're in the middle of a work day. That stupid work really gets in the way sometimes.
I know. Well, actually, it's kind of nice today. Yeah, we're from home. Can we say that? Can we admit that publicly? Is that okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Who cares?
Who cares? I mean, these days it doesn't matter. We get probably more done at home than we do when we're not at home. So
I got
totally
a lot done. You know me, like I kind of roll my eyes at some people who say, "Oh, I'm so busy on my time off, my vacations." Like enjoy your vacation. If you're on vacation, enjoy it. But for me personally, like I got a lot of stuff done, and there's things I didn't get to. But yeah, I think I was proud of a lot of stuff I got done, and you know, gonna be a lot of great content for the podcast in the coming weeks. So
thank you very much for doing all the work that you do, because I was barely on
welcome.
social media whenever I was gone. And so every once in a while I would pop on and I would see things pop up and then I was off. We had 60 people in New Orleans, like tons of family and friends. So entertaining and coordinating all those people, that's a full-time job. Like I way underestimated the need of all of the logistics.
That's what's okay. So not to jump ahead to what I did on that same weekend.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. During the Machine Head after party backstage, I feel like people who were invited to your wedding that couldn't make it, we were all sitting at a table looking at photos and videos from the event. Shout out Scott Proctor. Scott and I were hanging out together. He was showing me photos Thomas sent him, and I was showing videos that your niece was posting. We were comparing notes. I'm like, look how fun it is, man. You and I could have been there. It just anyway, so yeah, just spoiler, that was just fun of like people who couldn't make it to your wedding renewal in New Orleans. Yes, at the Machine Head after party. We're sitting there
that's
watching
hilarious.
You
that
and
makes
Jay.
me happy. I mean, it really was very shitty that you weren't there and Scott wasn't there. Like that was really the people that couldn't make it, but we understood it's a big ask. Like it's a really big ask to ask people to travel to New Orleans. So we understood that people couldn't make it, and we wanted to invite so many more, but hashtag budgets. And more people came than we thought. We thought maybe like 30 would come and 60 came. So that was nuts.
So yeah, please fill us in like the whole breakdown, how it went, because I think people who follow you on Instagram saw photos and videos that you were posting from your trip to New Orleans and kind of got an idea of the experience. And then for some people who maybe like for me, you know, I follow, you know, we're friends with Mari online, our digital queen, and and your niece. So I was able through, you know, other people associated with you, got to see what happened. So maybe for
you got like a well-rounded perspective.
Different angles, different videos. So, but for some of the listeners who didn't have access to that, I would love to kind of recap your whole wedding ceremony, the renewal ceremony. It looked like Cody was best man, Gianna was the MC,
officiant.
Officiant, that's the word. And so it was just really cool. So yeah, I would love to I mean, for me, my one concern, like I said, I'm super bummed I couldn't make it. Side note, I almost got my credit card paid off now since I've been saving so much money. So
that's good. I am quite the opposite. I have enough debt for both of us now, so that's fun.
But with that being said, it was just really cool to see what was going on. I was just curious if I would have went, like, I probably wouldn't have much time to hang out with you. It sounds like you were just crowded with so many family and friends there. I would have to, I would assume if I would have went, I would rely on Thomas or something to keep me entertained.
You would have been at Thomas's table for sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So long story short, I'll give you the headlines because it's a lot. But Jay and I, when we started going to New Orleans a decade ago, just a little over 10 years ago. And then 2 years ago, we bought a house there. And when we bought a house, we were like, God, one day we want to have our family and friends here to celebrate and be with us. And then we thought, oh my God, our 15th wedding anniversary is right around the corner. Why wouldn't we just do that? We were going to wait till our 20 year. But then again, it's like, why wait? You know, like some people in our lives, they're having, you know, not failing health, but not great health. Yeah. And so why take a risk at them not being able to be with us? And so we're like, there's no time better than the present. So we decided, all right, we're going to do it. So we had a vow renewal ceremony, like an actual wedding in the courtyard of our home. And so we set up tables and chairs around the pool and everybody kind of gathered there. Gianna was our officiant. And Cody walked me down the aisle and held the ring. So he was 2 jobs. And he was so excited and a little nervous. It was really cute. And so we did that. And then we surprised everybody after the ceremony with champagne and beignets. We had beignets delivered. So that was really cool. Nice. And 2 actual pounds of powdered sugar, like 2 pounds. It was ridiculous. There was powdered sugar everywhere. And then we did a second line parade. So second line parades are traditional that you've got the bride and groom or whoever. You can do it for a birthday. You can do it for whatever you want. But you have the person of, you know, that's hosting the second line parade in the front. And then you have the band right here. And then everyone follows behind and they dance and they have little handkerchiefs that they dance with and stuff. And we did that for like 30 minutes. And I swear to God, Huey, Jay and I both agree that is our mental happy place. There is nothing better than dancing in the streets of New Orleans. Everybody's like stopping and taking video and taking pictures. People are yelling at you from the balcony. You literally feel like royalty. It is the wildest. It's very hard to explain. Michaela's on. Mari and I saw one for a baby shower. Yeah, you can do baby showers too. Hey, it's a very hard thing to explain. It's definitely like you had to be there to really understand that kind of energy coming at you is just like, it's insane. But Cody led the charge. That kid, I'm not kidding. We did that. It was like 30 minutes, I think. And that kid never stopped dancing. He was break dancing in front of the band in the middle of the streets. It was wild.
I was going to say kudos to you and Jay. I'm guessing more you for his outfit. He looked like a cool little rude boy, a ska rude boy.
That was the end. I'm so glad you got that. Oh my God, Huey, Jay's going to shit when he hears you say that. That was the whole idea is we won a little rude boy. And Jay even had on the ska socks, like the checkerboard socks. We have a picture of them. I'm so glad you picked that up because our photographer, do you know Steve Rapport? Remind me if you've ever met him. He's an iconic rock and roll photographer. He used to live in the Bay Area. He used to live in Pacifica. He had a gallery here, and he's shot like David Bowie and The Boss and Joe Strummer and David. Did I say David Bowie? Like unbelievable. If you go to his website, he's literally, if you name a rock star, he has shot that rock star. Like he was Annie Lennox's personal photographer. Like he's done everything. And he's not a wedding photographer, but he's a good friend of ours. So I just asked him. I was like, "Hey, would you happen to shoot our vow renewal?" And he was like, "Absolutely." This guy. Okay, click through. So he's from Essex, England. and his accent is so beautiful. He's such a cool dude. That's him. Yep.
Okay.
So he has a gallery in New Orleans, and he shot like a lot of the pictures that you think of, like when you think of Bowie or Annie Lennox or even Bruce Springsteen, like they're his shots.
Okay.
So he's an icon. And what was funny is like most people in our wedding party and like people that were there for us had no idea that this guy is that guy. You know what I mean? It was like so crazy. Like this guy's a freaking legend and people didn't even realize it. Cause he's very, very chill. Anyway, my point to that is he's the one, he got Rude Boy immediately. He's from England and he loves like ska and punk and all that. And he got that immediately. So they bonded over that. But yeah, so then we paraded down to Antoine's and had a wonderful dinner. This is cool. You're going to love this. So this room in Antoine's restaurant. So Antoine's is the oldest continually running restaurant in the country. And the room we were in is the room that they kick off Mardi Gras every year. So Mardi Gras starts in this room. It's called, and the group is called the 12th Night Revelers. So this is the 12th night room. And so we have a party there, and it has two big balconies overlooking like Bourbon Street is on the right and the Royals on the left. And I mean, it's just ridiculous. So then we have our night. Oh, by the way, the kids had a jam session. Falky and some friends of ours, little daughters, are in a band called the Daydreams, and they did a little gig at the end. They played like 3 or 4 songs. So cute. And then the next day, this gets really trippy. I don't know if did you see my social post that I posted just a little while ago, like an hour ago?
Oh, yeah.
You need to pull it up in real time. We need visuals for this story.
Okay, you want me? Okay.
Yeah.
Pull it up from home. I could.
I know. I love this.
Okay.
So we're cleaning up the following day, and we're in the room, and I hear Jay has just walked into the hallway right outside the room, and I just hear Jay go, "Honey," and it was like it was quiet and low and like terrified sound. And I thought, oh my God, we broke something. Like, we dropped a vase or something happened. And I walk around the corner and I see Jay staring at the wall at that picture. And he's like, what the hell? Like, when were you here? That is a photo. That is not me. That is a photo, we think, from somewhere of like 1955 to 1965, roughly. Okay. That is the kickoff to Mardi Gras that year. And that is a woman that was hanging on the wall of the room that we were partying in. Oh. And she looks identical to me, especially at like 15. I posted with that photo. I posted that photo. That's me. I was about 15. I was homecoming queen, about 15 or 16. That picture, I mean, if you zoom in, the lips, the teeth, the little widow's peak that I have right here at the top of my head, identical. So we don't know who she was. There's an off chance. I mean, there's kind of a chance that it could be my grandmother. So my grandma used to go to New Orleans in the 1940s and 1950s. And she would go down there and party with her boyfriend. And he was a wealthy man. And so it's possible that they could have run in circles with people who would have been at such balls like that. Okay. So it's possible it was her, but nobody in my family, my mom doesn't know about her doing that in particular. Like it was a Twilight Zone, Back to the Future, The Shining kind of moment. And then we took a video of it and then we showed my mom, and my mom was like triple take, and she was like, when were you there? I'm like, that's not me. Or is it me in a different life? Like, what? I was born in 81, and that's sometime in the 50s and 60s. So isn't that wild?
You were reincarnated, like, but looking exactly the same.
My dear, I know exactly. What are the odds? My dear friend Stephen Kirk just texted me, and he's like, this is so Chasta. Like, this is the reason you have always been connected to New Orleans. You clearly lived there before, which is so fucking wild. Excuse my language. So wild. Forget I'm not on the radio. So effing wild that I have told Jay the whole time, like, I'm sure you loved Ireland when you went. Like, lots of people love places they travel, but it's not very frequent that you get to a place and you go, I feel like I've lived here before. I feel like this is home. Like, as soon as I landed in New Orleans, the very first time, I was like, I feel like I belong here, which is not a normal reaction. I've traveled all over the world. I've never had that happen anywhere else but there. So now I'm like, maybe I did. Like, it's so weird.
I was gonna say, let's look at some of the comments here. Cody stole the show.
He did steal the show.
Cody's new theme song is Rancid's "Time Bomb" song because he goes black coat, white shoes, black hat, Cadillac.
Yeah.
He's the boys of Time Bomb.
Yeah, totally. That's a great one.
What up, Casey?
I was laughing at one of the. Oh, Casey's on. Hi, Casey. Mwah! Right back at you. I stalked his page and he did Dave Grohl too. Yes, Steve Rapport has shot Dave Grohl as well. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, that's crazy. I saw that this morning and thought you posted a throwback, right, Casey? Isn't that weird? And Michaela said, I'm a vampire. It's funny that you say that, Michaela, because on Instagram, somebody else, I can't remember where it was. Tacosaurus, who was our friend Lewis. He said, nice try, Chasta. That's exactly how an immortal being would try and cover their tracks. So what we're going to do, Jay made friends with one of the what do they call it? Not the owner of Antoine's, but anyway, he was running our party. Yeah. Okay. And he made friends with them and got his cell phone. So he's going to try to track down like a historical society to see who would have been in the Queen's court in that year or those years to see if we can track down and figure out who this woman is.
Watch. It's going to say Chasta Freeman.
Dude, if it does, I will puke. I will die. What?
Because like you're really, you passed away and you just got
I got reincarnated as myself.
Yeah. Like there's a movie, God, or what was it? Like some vampires, like I seen some vampire stories where it's like, they've had like 5-10 different wives or husbands because they eventually get old and they got to move on to the next one. So
that's this moment.
Are you going to disappear from our lives in like 20, 30 years?
I gotta move on. Wood. I know. I got to move on. Time to move on. Yeah. It was the end of The Shining, whenever there's that moment and he sees himself. It was the same idea.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. I know, right? 50 years after the fact or whatever it's been.
With The Sixth Sense. The kids, or Bruce Willis is a ghost? What? Spoiler alert.
So anyways, that was the quick recap of our event. It was unbelievable. But then a lot of people were there all the way through what? If I got reincarnated as myself, that would be the worst. No.
Yeah. You would think you would reincarnate something completely different. I mean,
hopefully something good. I mean, I think if that's a karmic thing, if you believe in such thing, I think that's a karmic
dog,
thing.
Man, you got worry about nothing. Just lay in the sun all day, poop on the lawn.
Poop on the lawn, get some tummy scratches. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, go find some bitches.
Yeah. But next time, if you ever come to New Orleans with us, which you desperately need to, and it would be nice for you to come with us when you can we can have time together, because that was the only hard part is like we didn't get a lot of time with everyone.
Okay, because that's my thing. I've been in New Orleans 3 times. First time for the Super Bowl, the Niners versus the Ravens, which I didn't actually go to the game, but we did the whole week of broadcasting.
Media, yeah.
Yeah, and then I went for morning show boot camp, so that was like a radio convention. And then the third time was WrestleMania. So every time I went,
it's always been work.
A big event, and there's itineraries already kind of planned out, and just didn't really have much time to maybe explore and be a true tourist, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I love to go back and do things outside of Bourbon Street, because I've done Bourbon Street 3 times. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. And there's so much more. We're not even Bourbon Street people. I mean, when people, family or friends come down there, get a purple drink in this man ASAP. I know, Michaela, he needs a purple drink stat. We go to a place called Lafitte's on Bourbon, but that's at the end of Bourbon. It's not the Bourbon you're thinking of. It's like a totally different thing.
Okay.
And that's about as far in as we go, or we'll walk it when people want to check it out, but it's not for us. There's so much more to New Orleans than that. I want to take your ass on a swamp tour. I want to take you out to see the gators. That is fun. That is super fun.
Oh, the wrestle gators.
Our guide this time leaned down and kissed this gator on the nose or the snout, whatever it's called, and I was like, dude, you are out your mind.
I was like, I'm a little teapot short.
Tip over into the swamp. Bye-bye, Huey.
I'm sitting around. Jesus.
Spins you all the way down to the ground. Okay, so catch me up. I know I missed a lot. I knew I was missing Machine Head and Trivium. I was sad to miss both of those shows while it was gone.
Over the weekend, I was summing it up because I was telling people, hey, I'm back on the air this weekend. And if you missed me or what happened, in case you missed it, last weekend, I like to call it a rock and roll staycation weekend.
It was, yeah.
Much, yeah, I stayed home, but I went out for like a few days in a row just experiencing rock and roll and metal. So I will say this, to sum it up, my weekend last weekend, the headline is Robb Flynn from Machine Head got me drunk. Like, that's the first.
I love it. Yes. On his whiskey, right?
And he made some other drinks for me. Which
okay.
I'll get into in a second. So, rewind back to Thursday. So the day you were flying out to New Orleans, I went to the Masonic in San Francisco, see Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine. They're doing the Poison Ascendancy tour, which we've been talking about for months, ever since they announced it, playing the music, did the interview, all that stuff. Check out the interview with Matt Hafey on the Bones YouTube channel, which I need to upload our stuff onto our YouTube channel as well at some point. But so I went to the show, and I get there, brought my brother Tommy and our buddy Cliff, who's a local wrestler. He loves metal and everything, so he really wanted to go. So I'll take care of you. Come with me. And so we go. Matt texts me and like their like production assistant guy was gonna come meet us. He told us meet at the merch booth by at a certain time. Which shout out, I'm wearing my Trivium Ascendancy.
Yep, your new Trivium. That's very cool.
I gotta show you. A little crazy.
Like, oh my God, what else did you buy? Holy hell.
Holy shirts. Like,
oh my God.
Here's the tour shirt.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Yep. Great choice. Yep.
And then
we need a fashion show. We need like you to be like
every Monday or whatever. I'm gonna wear these each week.
Oh, perfect. It'll be an ongoing fashion show. Sick.
Yeah. So I
love it.
People realize I try to wear cool shirts for our streams. Another one.
I have my New Orleans sweatshirt on just for you guys. Ooh,
this is badass.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's just some badass stuff. Sorry, I'll try rapid fire here, and then
this is really great for audio only listeners.
I know, sorry. Yeah, you guys, I gotta go to YouTube.
Ooh, that's sick.
But they got cool, like the sword and stuff. And
Trivium has always had really great artwork, really great merch.
And then so I got 5 shirts total, and then I also got
sick. Oh, that's a great one. Yep. Love it.
To Matt and Trivium, those guys for just having awesome merch. Because I bought 2 the first night, then when we went the next night, I bought the other 3 because they were so. The first night, I was like, okay, what's in 3X? And then he was like, these 2. I'm like, all right, I'll get them. The following night, I was like, what do you have 3X? And they're like, we have this. I'm like, oh, all the other ones finally.
Oh,
so
great!
I bought them all instead of having to go to the website. So.
That's amazing. And then the next night you went to Hard Rock finally that we've been talking about for ever.
Well, I was going to say, so outside, I'm wearing at merch. All the guys from Hatred were there. They all say hello. So we all go backstage. The guy escorted us backstage, and we go to their one of their backstage rooms. They call it the pig pen. That's their warm-up space, their warm-up time. So I walk in, and they're already playing. And all of a sudden, I look, and I see Phil and Marta Demmel in the room. And Phil's oldest son's there with them, and like we're all hugging. It was like Phil's birthday the day before, so happy birthday, Phil Demmel, belated
Love
birthday.
Phil, happy belated.
So we're all hugging, the Hatred guys. So it's like all like family and friends of ours are in this room. So Trivium's like playing, warming up for like 20-25 minutes, and then as soon as they were done, they had to go ready to go on stage. So they're like, we got to go get ready. I'm like, okay, cool. And so go back out there, and the show was phenomenal. They played first, then Bullet, and then they kind of been alternating. So it was just an awesome night. Just a lot of boneheads there. Just a lot of other cool people I haven't seen in a minute. It was just a really awesome show that did Ascendancy front to back. It was incredible. I got a bunch of photos and videos posted online. Here, I can show you.
I did see that.
Yeah. So let's see. This was backstage at the Masonic. So really go
nice
back there. So that was cool.
So cool.
So then, so what happened was, as I'm walking out, I was like, oh, Matt, hey, I see you guys are playing Wheatland tomorrow night, Sacramento. He's like, yeah, if you want to come, let me know. I'm like, all right, let me check. I just got to see, I can logistically make it all work. And so he's like, just text me, let me know. I'm like, all right. So Trivium plays, and it was a phenomenal show. I'm like, oh, I really want to see this show again.
Yeah.
So during Bullet for My Valentine, I'm texting Matt from the soundboard. I'm like, all right, I want to come out tomorrow. He's like, all right, done. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, all right, I'll see you at the pig pen tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So Friday, I was like, okay, where's Wheatland? I've not been up there probably ever. So
Yeah.
I left Alameda at 3:45. I put in Google how far. Take a guess how far on a Friday afternoon traffic.
Probably 3 hours.
2
I don't
hours
know.
and 45 minutes. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God. So I try to make up there as fast as I could. I pulled up to the Hard Rock Casino in Wheatland, which is like 30 minutes past Sacramento.
Yeah.
With all the traffic. About 6:30, 6:45. The show starts at 7. Thank God, though, they were playing last on Friday night. So their pig pen and the hangout and everything was later. So my buddy Cliff met me there. So I parked my car. It's like one huge parking lot. The casino's in the middle of nowhere. It's in
I've heard that. Yeah.
middle of nowhere, but they got a huge parking lot. So I parked kind of far because there was a lot of people with Trivium and bullet shirts walking. I was like, okay, a lot of people are here for the show. So I parked, I ran over, we go inside, and I'm like walking, I'm like, whoa, like I love casinos. Like I'm not a big gambler, but I just like the vibe there. So it was super nice, super clean. Like it's awesome. The music venue itself is really cool. So we go in there, same thing. We meet by the merch. The guy takes us down there. Alex, the drummer, he had a bunch of family there too. So we're part of his family. We all go downstairs, same thing. Pigpen performance. We watched them warm up, hung out for a bit. That was really cool. So I was like, we were, let me see, pull this up here. Oh, there we go. So yeah, there's Matt. And then I got to get a photo with the rest of the guys on the way out of the rooms. Like, guys, I don't have a group photo with all 4 of them. So this was the closest I could get in that tiny room we were in right there. So, but anyway,
that's cool.
Same
They're
thing.
great.
But yeah, we had seats that night. So it was just nice to sit down after just running around and everything. Long day Friday. But nonetheless, the venue is cool. Like it is nice. I mean, we need to do a road trip up there. There's a lot of good tours coming through that.
We'll do an overnight. We'll stay the night up there.
That's the thing too. I was gonna say, for me, it's like, because when the show got done, like it still was like an hour and 50 drive back, so it's like almost 2 hours. So it's almost like I got home like at 2:15 in the morning.
Yeah,
so
that's worthy of an overnight.
Yeah, if you stay overnight. But anyway, so jump ahead. Saturday, hit up Robb Flynn, and he's like, "Yeah, come out to the show." And so he says, come hang out backstage after the show. So Machine Head was awesome. A bunch of the Bay Area metal community was out there. I saw our boy Craig Locicero and Chris Contos from Forbidden. Phil and Marta were there as well. I'm like,
that's
Phil's
awesome.
Like, oh, twice this week. I'm like, yeah, great to see you. The guys from Death Angel, Ted, Rob, and Will were all there. It was just
a reunion.
Our buddy Eric, security guard extraordinaire, he was there. So it was just a really awesome show. Machine Head was incredible. So afterwards, like I have this lanyard and I'm like standing there and I'm standing with everyone else. I'm like, okay, I don't know where to go. I was feeling a little imposter syndrome because I'm like, okay, like I've never hung out with like Machine Head after a show before. So, but then again, I was with a lot of people that I knew. So we all followed along to the one guy leading the charge, go downstairs. And sure enough, Rob comes out and the rest of the guys in the band. Luckily, Scott and Michelle were there. So I was like, oh, okay. Got to hang with them. And Rob comes in, but they had this box. So if you don't know, Machine Head's releasing their own whiskey. And so you open the box up and it's like 2 shotgun barrels. Like there's the lyrics in Davidian, their song Davidian. Like a shotgun blast. Shotgun blast whiskey. That's gonna be the name of it. I don't know the details. We need to
super cool. Yeah, the picture you texted me was awesome.
So yeah, it's not in bottles. It's in like these glass or plastic. No, it was glass. Like shotgun, cut off shotgun.
Yeah.
And you pour it in, and literally Rob's like, anyone gonna drink the whiskey? So Scott grabbed it and him and I were the first ones to drink from it.
That's awesome.
And then I went up to Rob and he's like, Huey, and he gave me a big hug. He's like, I'm glad you came. I was like, oh, thank you, man, for the invite. He's like, you want a drink? I'm like, yeah. He's like, follow me. And so him and I leave the party and we go down the hall. Like this is underground at the Fox in Oakland. So I'm following him around and we're talking about music and, he's thankful that, we've been playing the new single on the phone. And we go into their dressing room and like, man, they got like extra alcohol in there. And he's like, and he's making me a drink and him and I are drinking them cheers. And he's like, there's beer in the fridge. I got some beer. And I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. Like Robb Flynn from Machine Head getting me drunk on their hometown show. It was
awesome. That is legendary.
So thank you, Rob, for an incredible night. So then we went back up and just hung out for a bit. And then sure enough, there was a curfew at the venue. So everyone's like, you gotta leave. And so,
gotta get out.
So I have photos. I've not posted them, but then thank God my brother Tommy came and picked us up. And then, so Tommy, he got off work. He took an Uber from his job in Oakland at Whole Foods to the Fox. I ran to the side door and gave him my key. I said, go get my car out of the garage. I'm hanging out here. So he went, got the car, got it out before the garage closed, went home, changed, and then I texted him when to come back and get me. Came back, picked us up. Scott and Michelle needed a ride home because they're in Alameda too. Gave them a ride. Nikki Black needed a ride to her car. So like we all pile into my car.
It's a caravan.
A clown car. And Phil and Marta were outside. They were waiting on Uber. So we're all hanging out on the sidewalk. It was just such incredible, like early morning in Oakland. It was a lot of fun. I got a bunch of photos I'll post from that night too.
That's epic. That is definitely just as cool as what we were doing in New Orleans in a totally different way.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Scott and I were looking at photos and videos from your wedding, and we're like, wedding renewal. We're like, oh man, wish we could be there. But then again, we're getting drunk with Robb Flynn right now. So
not a bad plan B.
Yes,
exactly. Well, I'm gonna have to join on the next one. I haven't seen Machine Head since it was last year at the where was that?
It was 2 years ago at the Warfield.
Was it 2 years ago already?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, when Robb Flynn said, when Jay brought me into the pit, and I jumped up, and Rob's like, "Baby, Huey!"
So we have the audio of it. It was one of the coolest moments ever. That was so freaking great.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you had fun. It looked like an awesome time. I'm sad to miss out on that. Unfortunately, we can't clone ourselves, or maybe I did. We can't clone ourselves. I know I am cloned. I wonder if that woman is still around. She's an older version of me. That's so weird. Okay, well, I hate to cut us off, but looking at the time, I've got to go get my Metallica winner. We should probably mention that, by the way. This week,
platform for that.
Yeah. Every single day this week, this is just dumb. This is dumb. I'm so excited about it.
Yeah.
6 chances a day.
That's incredible.
6 chances a day to pick up Metallica tickets. So 2 of those are on my show in the 11 o'clock hour, which is now. I'm going to go get my winner, and then in the 1 o'clock hour, and then Nikki Black 3 and 5, and 7 and 9. In the morning with Lamont. So you can tell it's the odd hours every other hour. So like it's hard to miss this week.
If you're listening to this, go to 1077thebone.com. It has all the info, but you need to listen to The Bone to find out the exact cue to call. That's right. Saying. Yeah. Don't rely on this podcast for that.
No.
Listen to the actual Bone Airways for that.
Exactly. Yes. That's a very good point. I'm glad you pointed that out.
That's the thing.
All right.
And people get confused. Like, I listened to the podcast. This don't count.
No, this does not count. This is a totally separate thing. We were going to talk about Coachella, but you know what? Coachella has round 2 this weekend. So maybe on the next podcast, we could do a whole review of like our thoughts on Coachella, including Brian May of Queen with Benson Boone and that whole thing. So we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
A little teaser, a little radio podcast teaser, everybody. All right, I'm going to get my winner. Thank you guys so much for being on with us today. We love you so much.
Let's see. Hot dog on Bourbon Street, 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Jeff, Thomas, Ashley, Mari, and Michaela were all eating hot dogs on Bourbon Street at 1 a.m. It got a little wild.
Hey, was it like an Oakland hot dog with the bacon wrap? That's what I'm saying.
I think it might have been. I think they were either only finding bacon wrapped or only looking for bacon wrapped. I can't remember the answer to that. Obviously, you're asking the vegetarian. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. It was something about a wiener. All right, gotta go. We love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for being here.
Bye.
Bye. They were